up, YouTube? It's your boy JusRzd, and welcome to another edition of Rage Reviews. Today is special because we're gonna actually be reviewing Bleach. We're gonna actually be reviewing Bleach. Bleach has finally returned for their third core. First two cores were fire. Like I said in a previous video, I feel like I'm leaning more so towards the first core as my favorite up until this point. Because the Yamamoto fight was just crazy. Like that whole first core was just insane. Second core was solid too, though. Don't get me wrong. Especially the end with the new scene, with the Zero Division actually fighting, and we get to see them scrapping. And the fight was a lot longer than it was in the actual manga. And we got to see Senjimaru's Bankai, which was beautiful. That Bankai was beautiful. It was like a whole, it was a whole thing. So we just gonna jump right into this episode. This was an episode. This how you come back from a break. This is how you come back from a break, bruh. So the first, I want to say about 8 to 9 minutes. So like the first section of the episode was all kind of like recap. Had a few new scenes in there, sprinkled within there. We got to see more of what the Quincy's were experiencing when they were trapped inside Senjimaru's Bankai, and then we also got to see a more in-depth look at Box Fight with dang, I don't know why his name is escaping me right now. Buddy with the beard is what I'm gonna say. Big Monk Buddy with the beard. It's gonna be his name right now because I can't think of his name. Why can I not think of his name? Yeah. But anyway, so we got to see just more extended. So of course we got the recap, and we got more extended scenes of how Core 2 actually ended, with those two groups of people fighting. And yeah, it was interesting. It was interesting the fact that we saw Uryu use, it looked like he was using his Volston dig, but it didn't look like it was complete yet. But then his eyes also turned red, and he had one of the Soul King's emblems on his hand, one of his eyes on his hand. So it's just like, hold on, what's happening? Like, what's happening? Is this your Volston dig, or is this some secret power that you don't even understand yet, and that we're gonna find out more later? So I'm not sure, but I'm interested to see what they do with that, because I highly doubt that Kubo put that in there, because that was not in the manga. So I highly doubt that Kubo put that in there and is not gonna explain that later. So we got to see Uryu do his thing against Senjimaru. It looks like she was just about to kill him, and he used his ability, his shrift, to actually switch places with her. And in the process of switching places with her, he was actually tied up in her Bankai. So now she's tied up and he's free, and he's up shooting her through the heart. So of course she dies, and her Bankai kind of withers away. But what transpired before he was able to even use his ability, because it looked like he was finna die, we see Bach actually awaken the Almighty. That technique is one of the most bussy techniques in Bleach. The Almighty, if you don't know, shout out to Naruto, it's like an eye technique, but it allows you to see through multiple futures and multiple possibilities. And it allowed Bach to pretty much make short work of the big bald monk with the beard, the big bald monk buddy with the beard. It made him make quick work of him, and it was kind of unfortunate, because it looked like he was about to try to counteract him, and it wasn't working. It wasn't working. and it was sad because he had put in so much work up until that point, and you thought he defeated Bach, and it was just like nah. And so we see Bach just kind of, once he awakens the Almighty, you see like a surge of power hit the Sternritter and hit Uryu and the rest of the Quincy's that were up there with him. And with that, Uryu was able to use his technique and escape from Shinjimaru's Bankai and kill her, which was an interesting twist because, like I said, we never really saw in the manga how the Zero Division was dispatched. We just saw that they were dead. Like, we saw that they were about to fight and they fought them for a little bit and then they died. But we never really saw them like actually get to it for real. So it was interesting how they did it in the anime. Way better how they did it in the anime compared to what the manga gave us, because the manga just kind of treated them like fodder. But with the anime, we actually got to see why they died and how they died, and it was interesting. And of course, Bach making quick work of Buddy with the beard, big Buddy, bearded monk, makes quick work of him, and then proceeds to gather his troops and make a beeline to the Soul King's palace. And this shot was amazing because it was just like he started to, we all know Quincy's can absorb and manipulate reishi, and you see him just manipulating the reishi in the Soul King's realm to form steps to walk up to the Soul King's palace. That whole sequence was cold, I'm not gonna hold you. And then as soon as he gets up there to the Soul King palace, you see him walk up to where the Soul King is, stab him in the chest, and pronounce that Bach is actually the Soul King's son. And then we actually that's where the story ends on this particular episode for Bach. And then we actually see Ichigo and his crew, his little ragtag group of people, Orihime Chad, his Yadoichi, and I forgot the other buddy's name, but they finally make it up to the Zero Division into the Soul King's realm. And when they make it there, Ichigo hears Big Buddy with the beard calling out his name, and he's just like, yo, what's happening? And Buddy's like, yo, say my name. If you say my name, I mean, I'll be able to return. And so Ichigo says his name, and he immediately regenerates his body. And through the process of regenerating his body, anybody that utters his name, he's able to actually regenerate and come back to life and resurrect himself. So that was interesting that he even has that technique. That was super interesting. But with him resurrecting himself, it's going to take a while for his powers to be regained. So he's kind of out of commission at this point. He might give an exposition next episode, but who knows? At this particular point, we see Ichigo and the crew make a beeline to the Soul King's palace and to where the Soul King is. And as soon as they pull up, that's where the episode ends. And so it was interesting to see through the midst of everything that was going on, we also get a glimpse of what's going on in the Soul Society. And we see that Shunsui we see that Shunsui is actually meeting with Aizen to get his help with what they're dealing with. And that's going to be interesting, Discord, because when Aizen starts to, the manga readers know, if you know, you know, once Aizen comes out, it's going to be some problems. You feel me? So it's interesting to see. It's going to be interesting to see how that develops in the anime and if they add any more scenes. We still haven't seen Ukitake just yet, but based on what transpired in this episode, if you've read the manga, which I have, it was a long time ago though, so I don't remember everything, but I do remember after what just happened in this last episode, Ukitake will probably be in like the next 1 or 2 episodes. So we'll get to see him. It would be dope to see if Ukitake got a Bankai, which you think he should, considering he's a captain. But I doubt that I doubt that there would be a point to put it in right now at this point in the story, just because of what happens to his character after this. So it's just like, I mean, he's very useful after this, but it's just like, I'm trying to avoid spoilers, but he's very useful after this, but it's not like, yeah, you get it. Anyway, if you know, you know. If you read the manga, you know. But yeah. So this episode, like I said, was phenomenal to me. It was dope just seeing everything kind of pieced together, seeing everything slowly, seeing the recap and just seeing everything just animated. It just feels so good. Like I said, from reading the manga so long ago, it just feels so good to see everything finally being flushed out and Kubo being on board to actually add more context and more lore to the actual story that he didn't have an opportunity to when he was writing the manga. So man, that first episode was fire. I definitely, not gonna hold you, I'm gonna probably give that episode, I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. I ain't gonna hold you, I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. Cause it's Bleach, man. It's a big 3 for a reason, and it was a dope episode. I'd be tempted to give it a 9 just because the first part of the episode was kind of a recap, but they did have new scenes, so I'm gonna stick with the 10 out of 10. But let me know in the comments below how y'all felt about the episode. If you watched it, did you know that the core 3 of Bleach has actually dropped? If you haven't, put it on your watch list. If you're into anime, it's a big 3 for a reason. I mean, we got One Piece, we got Naruto, we got Bleach. That's the big 3. They're there for a reason. Bleach is phenomenal. They've inspired so many different animes that have come after it. JJK being one of them, Black Clover being another one. Like, so many dope animes that they've inspired. It's a lot more, but I can't think of them off the top of my head. But yeah, put Bleach in your watch list, and I'm gonna continue to review this core because, the fights is about to heat up. They about to box for real. Like, it's about to, they've already been boxing the first 2 cores, but they about to box for real. Like, they about to get down. So yeah, if you know, you know. If you a manga reader, you know. Yeah, I mean, if not, hey, hey, I can't do that with you. But if you an anime original, just enjoy the ride. But if you a manga reader, if you know, you know. But don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to share the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We are trying to get 1,000 subscribers before the year's out, and we can do that with your help. So hit that subscribe button on the channel and hit that notification bell so you can be notified anytime we drop a new video on the channel. And never forget, it's FreeSoul to the show free. Let's get it.